What's going on, everybody? G Funky Boxing here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Man, guys, I had another busy day, but it's all good, man. I'm here. Let me do a quick sound check while nobody's here yet. All right, sounds good. So I know I promised you guys a prediction for Inoue and Butler, which is going to be live here in a couple of hours. I really did mean to go live earlier today, but just been so busy, man, with everything. So, hey, what's going on, Manny? How you doing, brother? Thanks for being here. Don't forget to smash a like for me, man. We'll see how many people come in. I just did this really out of nowhere. I'm getting ready to crash as soon as I'm done with this thing, man. I had a long day. And then I'm going to get up early to watch this fight here between Naoya Inoue and Paul Butler for undisputed at bantamweight, guys. So we got to give them a hand. We're getting undisputed here, man. We're going to have another made member of the family here, the undisputed family, where G Funky is the boss. All right. So yeah, should be a lot of fun, man. I'm up early anyway around that time, so it's really not going to bother me much to be up this early to watch the fight. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it, man. Inoue's an exciting fighter, and I think Butler is going to be a pretty tricky challenge, man. I'm not going to lie. What's going on, DJ Mexicano de Tejas? How you doing? So we got let's do the tail of the tape and the records and all that stuff like we normally do here for a prediction show. All right, guys. Again, if anybody's new to the channel, subscribe. If you want to follow me on any of the social medias and donate to the channel, there's all the information right there that you need. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start off with the unified champion at bantamweight, Naoya Inoue, 23 wins, no losses, 20 wins by way of knockout, 29 years of age, orthodox fighter, 5'5", 67.5-inch reach. And for the WBO champion at bantamweight, Paul Butler, 34 wins, 2 losses, 1 by knockout, 15 KOs. He is 34 years of age, 5'6", 65.5-inch reach, and he is an orthodox fighter. So we got ourselves a close stance, same orthodox versus orthodox. And look, I know that there's I've listened to a lot of predictions on this fight, and I know that there's not a whole lot of people giving Butler a shot. I mean, if you listen to some of these some of these prediction videos, you'll hear like it sounds like uh he's got a snowflake's chance in hell of winning this fight, you know. But look, here's something that I want to point out that I don't think gets pointed out enough when it comes to breaking down fights, is yes, Inoue's status is far above Butler's, right? A lot of people consider him to be the number one guy in the sport as far as pound for pound goes. Now, you guys know I don't do pound for pound lists, but if you ask people, you will get quite a few answers that say Inoue's the number one guy right now. And Butler is a relatively unknown fighter here in the United States. Um, So yeah, I think a lot of people tend to go off of that. But here's something I want to say. I want to give a shout out to my man Ashley Knuckles, who said this. He says, You don't gotta have a better career than somebody to beat them. You just gotta be better at 36 minutes, you know? So really that's it. And sometimes a certain fighter will have a certain style that's always gonna give you hell in a fight. Um doesn't matter about the status. Where you are or how many belts you have or anything like that, So, I feel like from listening to a lot of videos, I think a lot of people forget that, And here's one thing that I want to say um, before we get into this thing, man. This Thursday will be the first show in the Gym Chronicles, and I'll be featuring Coach Christine Lopez. She'll be coming on Thursday to talk about the gym and a lot of other things, man. It's going to be very educational. and can't wait to do it, man. So make sure that you guys are there. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when we go live for that show, so you won't miss it. All right. Now, let's break down this fight, man. Styles, okay? Styles always make fights. And with Butler, looking at Butler, his last fight against I believe the guy's name was Jonas Sultan from the Philippines. That fight was for the WBO interim title. Uh Butler wins that fight, and I guess they end up elevating him to, full champion status. So he is now the WBO champion. And Inoue's got the other 3 belts. I'm not quite sure if he has the Ring Magazine belt. He might. I don't know for sure, but he might. But looking at Butler, his style, he's a boxer, man. He is a 100% boxer, and I actually like his style, man. There's some guys that are boxers that um they just tend to move too much, hold too much to stall the action, don't throw enough punches. Um, to me, that's not effective boxing. It never will be, in my opinion. But Butler's a guy who does utilize some movement. Now, in his fight against Sultan, uh, he did move somewhat, but he did it in spots. He didn't. It wasn't consistent. He did stay in the center of the ring a lot of the time with him, and I felt like he held his own really well, man. I think he's got really good fast hands. He's got good feet, like I said, the movement, but not just the movement, but when he was in the pocket with Sultan, I feel like his weight transitions were really good from defense to offense, where he's standing there in the center of the ring and make a guy miss, make him pay. He'll transition that weight to the back foot to avoid a shot, come back in with his own, get back on the front foot. Um, Even use that good footwork and balance to get out of range. Move, take a couple of pendulum steps to the left or the right, change the angle, and get off offense that way and make a guy miss. His defense is pretty decent. He comes in with a nice tight high guard up top. But you guys know I've always told you that there's always openings in those type of defenses, especially when the high guard is not active. And what I mean is, again, moving the hands around to catch punches, um, opening up the hands to parry shots, and a little bit of head movement. Now he does move his body a little bit while he's in that defensive stance. Um, but what I noticed in the Sultan fight is that because he does hold his hands so high, uh, the body shots, man, he was getting hit with a lot of body shots in that fight. So he was able to take them, though, and I felt like he clearly won the fight. And I think he's a really good fighter, man. I do. I think he's really, really good. I think I just feel like a lot of people, like I said, from the things that I was hearing, they were really just going off of you know, Inoue's pound for pound status, and because he's known worldwide, right? He's a big star in Japan, and now he's starting to become more recognized here in the States. So I really feel like that's what I kept hearing. I didn't really hear a whole lot of uh, what Butler does that's well and what could give Inoue problems. So as far as Inoue goes, um, again, very, very good fighter, man. Hand speed, he's very fast. Punches are very sharp and short. Footwork is not, it's good, but it's not like it's not similar at all to Butler's footwork. Anyway, very well balanced as well. Very good technique on his punches, man. And that's what really generates that power that he has. He knows how to sit down on those shots, knows how to shift his weight, right? From one foot to the other when he's throwing his punches, gets great leverage and generates power from the ground. That's what makes him a monster offensively, man. Again, the hand speed and the good balance and the way that he gets good leverage on his shots, and really, really good fighter, man. Really, really good fighter. Defensively, now you guys have heard me say this before about Inoue. not the best. Okay, he's not the monster on defense. He's the monster on offense, right? And again, I think a lot of it has to do because he does get very aggressive at times. Um, Now, the only person that I've really seen to kind of expose those kind of weaknesses, um, I mean, it's only been a few people, but uh, most notably would be Nonito Donaire in their fight. I was telling a lot of people they were doubting Donaire. They were acting like it was going to be a walk in the park for Inoue. And I said, look, guys, I'm telling you, Donaire is a really good counterpuncher. He's going to capitalize on a lot of these mistakes that Inoue makes. And a lot of the mistakes that he makes, aside from being very aggressive offensively and leaving openings, I feel like he really does fight. He's a lineal fighter. He fights on a line, you know. Um, that's a problem with, especially with someone with some good footwork. You know, um, he comes straight in a lot of the time, and he does fight like a pattern fighter at times. Again, comes in with a lot of straight punches. He does have a nice left hook to the body, though, which I think is going to be key in this fight. But again, because he does fight on a rhythm type, pattern type of style, just coming in 1-2 a lot of the time, double jab, straight right hand. And then again, occasionally he'll mix in left hooks off of that jab to the head and to the body. But I do see openings. Like I noticed in his fight, I think the gentleman's name was Taipan, I want to say. He was able to, uh, take some half steps back as Inoue was coming in. Again, straight line, keeping his head on center line as well, and he was able to pull back and shoot some nice counters on Inoue. The problem is he wasn't able to hurt him. So if you're not able to hit guys like that with something, uh, so that they can at least respect the power and not come in recklessly, you're not gonna have much success, especially against a guy like Inoue, who I said generates a lot of great power in his technique. Um, so those are some of the things that I see style wise from these guys. What's going on to Mr. Tyrant? He says 3 rounds or more seems reasonable at minus 140. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Um, I, I think it's going to go more than 3, to be quite honest with you. Um, but we'll see. I mean, the fight's going to be on here in a couple hours, so I'm glad I found enough time to come on here and talk with you guys about it, and give my prediction. So as far as what I see in my prediction and who I think is going to win this fight, um, I do see Butler early on using some footwork. I think he's going to be in and out, and I think he's really good at that. You know, and I don't mean like just circling around the ring laterally. Yes, he can do that, and I feel like he is going to utilize that when Inoue gets aggressive. But if he wants to win this fight, and I've been listening to some interviews with him, sounds very confident, which is good. You want to be confident going into these fights and in any competition. Um, but he talks about how he really wants to win this thing and about how it will be possibly the biggest win in English boxing. And it could be right up there. It really could be, but we have to wait and see if he's actually going to win the fight first before we evaluate that. And that's gonna be a tough task. But I think that if he can time Inoue's rhythm and a pattern, right? Um, his skills can offset a lot of things that Inoue does. And Inoue could have some problems with that. And as far as the power goes, when I read Butler's record, he's only got 15 KOs out of 36 fights, which is, hasn't shown a whole lot of power. But in these weight classes, again, not a lot of guys show that kind of power. That's what kind of makes Inoue stand out above a lot of guys in these weight classes, that he does get knockouts. So if if he can test Inoue's chin and hit him with some clean stuff, and I do think he is going to catch him with some shit on the way in. I do anticipate him landing punches early on Inoue, cleanly, clean counter shots. I do anticipate that. But again, if he can't if he can't sting him and hurt him enough to where Inoue's like, okay, this is, you know, he doesn't hit very hard. I can open up a little bit more and apply more pressure and get to this guy. And that's what I think is going to happen here. And what I think is going to happen in the long run is, again, I don't know if Butler's got the kind of pop in those hands to make Inoue respect him. So it's going to be a little bit of a puzzle at first, but I think after about 5 rounds, I'm going to say he'll figure it out. And I think the one big weakness that Butler has, and I mentioned this earlier when I was breaking down his defense, right? He fights behind a high guard, peekaboo. So the hands are really high, and I noticed with in the Sultan fight that he was getting hit with a lot of body shots down, clean body shots. And a lot of times you don't see those shots when you have that kind of defense. So I think Inoue, again, he's going to figure it out, and when he's pressing forward, pressing the action to come forward, I believe that he is going to end up throwing some combinations, finding those openings. And what I think is going to land, I think he's going to land a nice left hook downstairs. And I think that that's what's going to get the job done here, man. So I'm saying I'm going to pick a fifth round knockout for Naoya Inoue. And he's going to be the next member of the undisputed family here on this channel. That's what I'm predicting here, guys. So, but I do think that we will see some fireworks early, man. I feel like Butler is is really trying to, he's really coming here to win. He's not coming to lay down. So he's gonna have to, like I said, throw some hard shit. He's got to try to earn Inoue's respect. I don't know if his skills are good enough to um box like that all night against a guy like Inoue, a good pressure fighter like him, you know? Because like I said, Inoue is very fast with his hands and feet, although very predictable, So that's why I think Butler is going to be able to pick up on some of those things that Inoue does, and it's going to be a little tricky early, man. I do think. What's going on, Tycho TV? How you doing, man? Give me your guys' predictions, man. Anybody that's still out there? I know it's late, man. I apologize. I told you guys Saturday night on the post fight Collins show that I was gonna get a prediction in before the fight. I wanted to do it yesterday, but man, like I told you guys, there's a giant storm here in my city Saturday morning. So a lot of shit got fucked up for me out here, and I had to clean up a lot of things that got blown around, and had to drain the pool today because it got almost overfilled. So a lot of shit, man, that I had to get done. But got it done, and now I got my opportunity to come here, talk with you guys, get my prediction out there for this fight. And who's gonna stay up late, man? Who's gonna stay up late or get up early? Because from my understanding, the fight's gonna start at 11:30, which is but a little less than 3 hours from now. Let me double check though, but I heard from someone that the fight is gonna be on at 11:30 p.m. on the West Coast, which is where I'm at. And you know what? They were absolutely right. I see it right here on ESPN Plus. The fight card does start in less than 3 hours. So either you guys are gonna stay up all night and watch it early in the morning, or you're gonna sleep like me. I'm gonna hit the bed right after this show, and I'm gonna get up early to watch the fight. So should be fun, man. I'm always up early anyway. I'm an early bird, man. So it ain't gonna bother me to get up early and watch it. Tycho says he'll be up early. Yes, it's gonna be on ESPN Plus. So if you have the app, make sure you check it out. If you're gonna be awake, turn it on, man. Fotex says I'm gonna be sleepwalking up early morning. Yeah, man. I've been an early bird, man, for about the last 9 years. I'm up sometimes 4, 5, get up, have my coffee, and then I'm ready for the day, man. But then look, uh, around this time, 8:39. I'm I start crashing, and I'm real tired right now, man. I'm not gonna lie. Not just because I'm up early, but just because, like I said, I had so much shit to do today, and that's why I'm on so late here doing this prediction with you guys. But should be fun, man. I like getting up early. I remember the last time I got up early for a fight like this, I think was Triple G and Murata, which was in Japan as well. And that turned out to actually be a pretty good fight. It's gonna bother me because that's messing up my sleep schedule. I hear you, man. I hear you. I don't know if you have kids or not, but when you have kids, especially little ones, man, they're gonna get you up early. So, that's why I'm up early all the time now. No, I'm not quite sure what time the main event starts. But you know what? That's a good question. I don't want to. What if I do get up at 5 and then it's over? Because it's starting so early, man. 11, 11:30 here, but they show every single fight. So, let's see. Check it out right now. Let's see. Okay. Oh wow. Looks like 3 a.m. the main event might start here. Wow. That's earlier than that's earlier than I get up. Let me make sure though. Let's see. Start time. Let's see. Yeah, looks like 3 a.m. the fight's gonna be on. Wow, so I'm gonna have to get up earlier than normal. The main event, it says yeah, what did I just read that? Bad Left Hook says the show is starting at 2:30 a.m. Eastern time, with the main event expected around 6 a.m. Eastern time. So that would be 3 a.m. for me where I'm at. Not quite sure where everybody that's in the chat is at. And see, now I'm getting annoyed and when I can't fall asleep. I hear you, man. I hear you, bro. Um, you could always, catch it on the replay, man. Or check out my post fight video. You got, I do all my post fight videos. So, you taking a power nap right now? Well, don't sleep no longer than 30 minutes because if you do, then your sleep schedule is really going to be messed up. So, just keep that in mind. But yeah, it looks like for me, it's going to be a 3 a.m. start time for the main event. So I'm going to have to set my alarm, man, because I'm normally not up that early. So 3 a.m. for you too, huh? Okay. Yep. So when you're a crazy boxing head like me, man, you get up a little early to watch these fights. I haven't heard anything about the undercard. I have no idea who's on it. Um, because I mean, I didn't research it because I knew I wasn't going to be awake to watch it. So, um, I was gonna, make sure that I'm up for at least the main event. So, but anyways, that's what I see, man. I'm sure most of you guys agree with me that Inoue is probably gonna stop Butler. I'm saying 5 rounds. He's gonna catch him. The pressure's gonna catch up to him, and I think he's gonna find a home for the body shot, the left hook to the body underneath that high guard defense of Butler. And I think he's gonna go down. And I don't think he's gonna get up. So that's what I'm predicting. But I know Inoue after the Donaire fight said that it was the most important thing for him to become undisputed in this weight class. But uh, you guys think he's gonna move up to super bantamweight after this? Does Inoue get pound for pound one if he were to win? Well, I mean that's up to you guys, man. You guys know I don't do pound for pound list. I've never done one in the 11 years that I've been on YouTube. So that's really up to if you think he's number one, then he's number one for you. I'm not going to argue with anybody. I mean, obviously if somebody has some bullshit as number one, then yeah, we can debate that. you know like if someone's like, man, I think Raleigh Romero's pound for pound number one, I'm like, yeah, okay. We'll definitely have to talk about that. Let's see, say fights at 4 a.m 5 a.m. Mountain Time. Man, I wish I was in Mountain Time. That'd be perfect. I wouldn't have to change my sleep at all to see it, but I'm gonna have to get up a little bit extra early. Let's see. Fotex says I'm not high on him. I just want to see another Loma 2.0. He's very entertaining. Yes, pound for pound is very subjective, and that's the way it should be because it's a list. It's a list based off of opinion. It's opinion based, and that's that. So Mungia, yeah. You see, if somebody has some shit like that, like, yeah, this guy is a number one. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I had one of my friends who's a casual tell me that, Tank's number one pound for pound because he gets knockouts, and I'm like, okay. Like, really, it's someone who doesn't watch the sport and they say something like that. I don't even take the time to uh argue with them, but again, if it's someone who actually knows the sport and they got some shit like that, like you said, Mungia number one, like, no, I'm sorry, no, 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 we'll definitely have to talk about that, okay. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Normally I would take calls, but man, I'm tired, and looks like I'm gonna have to get up a little extra early for this one, man. So let's see. In that case, I say Usyk/Haney. Well, those are number one for you. I mean, if that's what you got, then hey, imagine having Wilder as number one because he gets knockouts. Yeah, I mean, nobody said that. Nobody was saying that, but yeah, I mean, again, casuals, they just they don't really understand the way that a lot of things work in sport. So, but it's all good, man. But yeah, like I said, man, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna get to bed right now. I'm gonna have to get up at 3 a.m. to watch this main event. So wherever you guys are, make sure you get up early. It's gonna be 6 a.m. Eastern time. So I believe it will be what is that? 5 Central, 4 Central. I'm not sure, man. I still get confused, but for me, it's gonna be 3 a.m. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for joining me, hanging out here for about 30 minutes. Appreciate it. If anybody's watching that's new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You want to follow me on IG, it's there. You want to follow me on Twitter, it's right there. If anybody would like to donate to the channel, there's the Cash App there. And again, the bottom right, subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell. All right. This has been the prediction show for Inoue versus Butler, undisputed at bantamweight, and I look forward to initiating a new member to the family. All right, whoever wins this fight. So that's it, guys. This is G Funky Boxing. I will see you guys early in the morning. All right, I'm out.